And hello, dear Astro friends. It's Melanie here. First time this year on the balcony, on the Canadian balcony. And I just put up my Aztec sun patchwork again, which had also a bit of a winter rest while I was in the Aztec lands. So the sun is here really beautifully today, and yeah, good reason to sit out and do this astro video from the balcony. So of course it's for the week starting on Tuesday on the 6th of February and going until Monday the 12th of February. The big highlight this week, of course, is the new moon on the 9th, the Aquarius new moon, the first new moon after Pluto entered Aquarius, which was January 20th, and together with the sun. And also the eve of the Chinese New Year that probably most of you have heard about, of the Yang Wood Dragon, the most powerful animal in the Chinese zodiac of yearly animals. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. And first of all, what else is going on this week? Where are we at with the Aquarius sequence? We're actually moving with the new moon, with the 9th, every year pretty much around the 9th, to the third decade of Aquarius. Third of three, right? Each sign of the zodiac has three sub parts that are associated with other or with different signs in the same element. So currently we're in the center of Aquarius, which also has an Aquarius undertone in the fixed part, so to say. And on the 9th of February, we're moving into the mutable part, which is a transition from Aquarius to Pisces, and that has the undertone of the mutable sign in that element, which air element is Gemini. So the themes are shifting. The themes could have gotten in this fixed part somewhat. Yeah, attachment is basically the big issue. Attachment to ideas, ideals, to especially political, social, ideological, all of that. But also deeper digging and coming together with people, with friends to discuss those things. And then the mutable one is more about more information, more learning, and also synergy, which is a transition already to Pisces, noticing where there's vibes that are conducive and you can easily resonate with, and whether it's just in the head, you're connecting with people, or there's actually a real ease and flow, or both, right? So now the moon is currently still waning, of course, towards the new moon on the 9th. And the moon is now in Sagittarius since yesterday evening, moved over the Phoenix point. So you might have also noticed an uplifting energy. And I actually had a FaceTime call with a Sagittarian friend from way back when. This was really great. And we also talked about traveling, everything Sagittarian, traveling in the past and in the future. So that was good. Very Aquarius, Sagittarius, right? And yeah, so now the moon is in Sag, the sun is shining, which is also apropos. The soul of fire is tickling us, and a prelude to spring, I would say. Then the moon will be in Sag for all day today and tomorrow. And on Tuesday morning, 4:08 a.m. Pacific, as always, the moon goes into Capricorn and will be in Capricorn pretty much most of Tuesday, right? All day Wednesday and Thursday until 5:59 a.m. in the morning. So the Capricorn moon now more ease, so to say, relatively speaking, after Pluto is out of Capricorn. So moon in Capricorn won't meet the moon won't meet Pluto until she's in Aquarius. And so still, it's a good time midweek to deal with serious issues that need to be accomplished or need to be dealt with, that can literally relate to your home, to family, and anything structural and substantial that, so to say, doesn't go away. And here's a hummingbird just came by. And yeah, it's important to complete certain things. That is very apropos Capricorn moon. Then the moon in Aquarius will be already the dark before new moon, right? Because on the 8th, almost all of 8th, the moon Aquarius, on the 9th, the new moon. The new moon will be exact at 2:59 p.m., so in mid-afternoon here Pacific, and so on the cusp of on the cusp from the central to the mutable part of Aquarius, yet very fixed nevertheless, because it will be in square with Uranus. And that's already the case for the Sun. The Sun will be already in square, the Aquarius Sun will be in square with Uranus in Taurus on the 8th, the day before the new moon. And the new moon carries that signature as well. What do I mean by that? What does that look like? Let's see how that. Okay, because we have light and shadow here. So, okay, hope you can see the chart. Anyway, here is the Sun and Moon together as a new moon. That's the exact new moon chart for Victoria. And here is the square with Uranus in Taurus. So, while also, of course, Pluto is freshly in Aquarius, Mercury goes into Aquarius today. We'll talk about that a little bit in a second. So that is a very strong signature of the new moon, double Aquarian, and also showing how much more Aquarian energy is kicking in here, even here indirectly with that square with Uranus. So it's a lot about innovation, freedom, getting out of the box, out of the old matrix, out of old conditioning, and into the new, into the future, into also collaboration, cooperation. So we can't do all this by ourselves. To operate in this new paradigm, or out of any paradigms, right, into the new and unknown. The old world, the old ways of divide and conquer, divide and rule don't work anymore. People are coming together, and more people are free and free-spirited and liberated in so many ways. And you find your people, right? Find your people, work with them, and create the new, co-create the new. Then what's with Uranus in Taurus specifically, right? Taurus is where Uranus is per se not so happy. So, but it's also a strong marker that something is really shifting, that can feel very unsettling. Taurus is a settling sign, but this is very unsettling, and it's been going on since 2008, 2009, 1819 for Uranus in Taurus, and goes on still to 2027. So more than 7 years. And that's typical for Uranus. So Uranus brings often disruptive experiences and events to liberate us. It's like cracking the egg open. And the expression of Uranus is, I'm out of here. And what does that mean? Is that just a rebellious thing? Or is it really just actually quite an organic process, like the chicken out of the egg, the butterfly out of the cocoon? And I read a really beautiful symbolism just before about the butterflies. What was that again? The butterflies sleeping back. That's very cute. So anyway, Uranus is the awakener. So it gets us out of a sleepy mode, out of a complacent mode in Taurus, right? And that's not always, initially not always welcome, but apparently really necessary for evolution. And so this new moon really also catalyzes Uranus, right? then also more energy comes into Aquarius starting today. So today, the 4th of February, is when Mercury enters Aquarius. In the evening, I'm about to write the article for that, and Mercury this year won't be very long in Aquarius, only until the 22nd of February, because it was just retrograde and was for an extended time in Sagittarius and Capricorn. But now it's in Aquarius where Mercury is the strongest. That's called in astrology, it's exalted. So yeah, Mercury loves Aquarius. Why? Because the mind can think literally outside of the box, can be a very unprogrammed and liberated, innovative, intuitive, having insights, and also discuss those with people. So this is a great time for anything Aquarian in the writing, in the literary, in the discussion world, and also scientific energy, scientific impulses and news literally can come up with Mercury in Aquarius. And if you have any scientific projects, do your research. Be detached also, right? Aquarius is detached, and versus the opposite would be Leo in this case, right? Leo can be, from the Aquarius perspective, very dramatic and very self-absorbed, in fact, right? So Aquarius is the observer, right? And takes themselves personally out of it. But it can be also detached to a fault, right? So there's always a spectrum. Then more Aquarius is coming in through Mars on the 12th, on the last day of this astrology week. So, and just after the new moon, Mars comes out of Capricorn, where it's been since January 4th, and goes into Aquarius February 12th. Mars has been really strong in Capricorn. That's Mars's strongest sign, because it helps us physically also, and with our ambition and perseverance to move forward, upward, right? And also move through difficulties. And that's interesting, because Mars goes out of Capricorn and then meets Pluto, like also Mercury meets Pluto on the 5th, tomorrow, after leaving Capricorn, after entering Aquarius. And Venus will do the same. When Venus leaves Capricorn for Aquarius on the 12th, will also shortly afterwards meet Pluto. So what does that now represent? Like with Mercury here, the most acute tomorrow. So first of all, Mercury goes into Aquarius, but also it can literally be a messenger for Pluto, be really conveying these themes of the zeitgeist of the bigger evolution, where things are really changing, and power is an issue with Pluto in terms of the power of the people, power of society, in society, and in systems. And there can be lots of discussions about that, how the systems are changing and what does that do for power structures. So we, the people, must not give power away, and we must come together because we're stronger, right? And yeah, and more aware together, right? We can co-inspire each other. Then Mars-Pluto is quite an intense combination. That happens every 2 years only, because Mars has a 2-year cycle. And so Mars will meet Pluto on February 13th. That can, and while also the moon will be in Aries, which is ruled by Mars at that time. So keep an eye on that Mardi Gras, Valentine's a week with Mars Pluto. The energy actually already builds. This is not just a one-day activation. It's sort of a weather pattern that builds up this coming week. And then with Mars Pluto getting exact, that can be the culmination, and where something really resolves, or it can still linger and work through, right? So it is about, Mars is a warrior planet, and Pluto is about power. So it can have effects again in Aquarius in the socio-political arena, where issues that are contentious are being really addressed, maybe also um, fighting powers, or even better would be is being a warrior with power within, and power versus force, right? And so on. More about that in the next Astro News, and also in the Astro News email that I send out for every new moon and full moon. And it also contains all sorts of chapters for the planetary shifts. So in this case, also a chapter for Mars in Aquarius, meeting Pluto, and also eventually squaring Uranus. Then, yeah, let me see. This week, the Sun already squares Uranus, as said, on February 8th. And so that itself is also an indicator of societal shifts. And Taurus, I want to mention that also. Taurus, where Uranus is, has to do with the earth, with nature, with economy, with money, with the whole monetary financial system. And so there can be also new light, like with the Sun, new light is shed at all of that, and new consciousness. And ideally, we have shifts where we can see something in a new and liberating way, right? Can be also a wake-up call, because Uranus is involved, right? And the Sun is sunlight. So anyway, and then we come to the year of the wood dragon. So I'm not an expert in the Chinese astrology, which in fact is not astrology. So the way how we perceive it, or what's most commonly known, it's a cycle of animals. It's not really related to star constellations, as another branch of Chinese actual astrology that an astrologer acquaintance of mine, um, lost touch with him, had really specialized in that. But the usual well-known Chinese astrology has to do with the 12 cycles of the zodiac rotating every year with the Chinese New Year. And the Chinese New Year always starts on the day after the second new moon after winter solstice. The first new moon was January 11th, and the second one will be February 9th. So the Chinese New Year is on February 10th. And why dragon? Dragon comes after rabbit. We're currently in the rabbit year, and then after rabbit there comes a dragon, and then a snake, and so on. And also there's the element associated. I said wood dragon, right? The dragon per se, the animals also have a natural association with a certain element. In this case, the dragon even has a natural association with wood, and it's also a wood dragon. And why is it a wood dragon? Systematically, because after water comes wood. So we had 2 years of water. We had the water tiger, followed by the water rabbit this year, and then comes wood. So water feeds wood, right? Just in the natural cycle as well. From watering, plants grow, right? And then wood is really the element that we might associate, not exactly with, there's also an earth element, right? So wood is specifically about growth and about a really dynamic growth. There can be also a lot of creativity with the wood element. And dragon is the most powerful animal in the zodiac. I lean towards associating dragon now with Leo in the Western, if there's, if you can make that comparison. There's another system that I followed, so to say, before, that says the first animal in a Chinese zodiac is the rat, and that is associated with Sagittarius. And then comes the ox with Capricorn, the tiger with Aquarius, and the rabbit with Pisces, and the dragon with uh, Aries. Sorry, with Aries. But I'm exploring currently what could make actually so much more sense is to have the Aries associated with rat, which is also the first zodiac with Western zodiac sign, and rat, and then you have Taurus and the bull and the ox in this case, right? And then you have Gemini tiger. I don't quite know how that makes sense. Then you have rabbit and Cancer. I think that makes a lot of sense. Leo and the dragon. And then the snake would be associated with Virgo, maybe the healing serpent. So I'm still in the exploration phase and like to inspire you to do the same. I will also write an article for the Chinese New Year of the wood dragon. And wood dragon, of course, or dragon, I should say, is always yang, right? So the animals have also yin yang polarity, and of course the rabbit was yin, and the dragon will be yang again. Yeah, so powerful element, powerful animal coming, and together the wood dragon, I think it also is another mirror in the Western astrology is Jupiter is in Taurus, and Uranus is in Taurus. Jupiter meets Uranus on the 20th of April when we are in the wood dragon year. Mark my word, for the month of April, I already told lots of clients that this is probably the most powerful month of the year because we have the total solar eclipse seen in North America on the 8th of April, which will be a seed eclipse. It comes with a north node in mid-Aries with Chiron. So it's a lot about taking initiative, doing self, allowing also the self-healing, the own medicine to come forward, and healing the wounds of war. And it's a big impulse for new beginnings, right, with Aries, while Pluto is also freshly in Aquarius. And then we have also in April, and April 20th, that alignment of Jupiter-Uranus, which comes every 13 years and is one of the biggest alignments of this year. Plus, we have already in March, also in Aries, right, where the eclipse is on April 8th, we have on March 4th the alignment of the North Node and Chiron. It's sort of a whole phase from early March with Chiron North Node leading into the eclipse, which is also with Chiron, right, on the 8th of April, and then followed by Jupiter Uranus. So it's quite a strong impulse this spring for renewal, and the dragon is accompanying that as well. This much for today, and I enjoyed doing this little video here out on the balcony, and I'll be out on a walk, and hope you do the same, and see you again next week, or you see me on video, and maybe I see some of you also in a session or out and about. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Happy New Year especially, right?